Welcome Aries to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 17th of July. If I told you that this is one of the most incredibly powerful weeks that I can ever remember, I wouldn't blame you if you don't know me very well for thinking that I might be prone to a little bit of exaggeration. But actually I try not to do that. So I'm being very sincere. And the standout moment at the start of this week is the North Node inversing into your sign for the first time in 17 years. This is going to give you an opportunity over the next year and a half to really get more closely in touch with the individual qualities that can really see you crystallize your true potential. Now the process gets a boost to begin with because of the relationship between Venus in Leo and the North Node, which is really sweet this week and could mean that when it comes to your romantic or social situation, there could be an opportunity. But of course, Monday also sees a new moon in the part of your situation to do with home and hearth, also your relationship to your inner world. So in other words, how you feel about things becomes very important over the next month. But the North Node is challenged through to the end of August in a T-square by the powerful planet Pluto. So even if you're trying to pursue things romantically or make changes at home, if you are trying to follow a more individualistic path, there may be some resistance. The resistance, strangely, may not just come from outside of you, which I think could be Pluto's role. I think it could come from the fact that although your heart and your intentions may be willing, because Saturn in your 12th house of psychology is opposing your ruler and all week, and that becomes exact on Thursday, somehow or another you may just lack the total energy to reach towards whatever you want to do. So whether the new moon, which links very constructively to Uranus and Neptune, encourages you to make some changes at home, decluttering, painting and decorating, perhaps moving the furniture around to give it a fresh look, I wouldn't overburden yourself with too many chores. Now also the Sun is heading into an opposition with Pluto, and this is going to become exact on Saturday. And this is a very political influence because the Sun in the fourth house, how you feel, is battling like the node. So we also have this opposition coming into a cardinal grand cross with the position of the nodal axis. So we have a clash of energies on Saturday that reaches an absolute peak. And the thing with grand crosses is whatever we do, it has an immediate effect because we've got 4 points that are all squaring up to one another, and that's quite challenging. So what I would say is that if you're wanting to do things at home, it could have ramifications in terms of your work. If you want to change things in your worldly interaction, it may be that you need to take into account how it feels, but also whether your individual or relationship needs are going to be balanced in the process. Complex, eh? And then at the start of the week, as Mercury and Jupiter are in a right angle, which if you know your astrology, you may have wondered if that could be linked to my claim that this was an incredibly powerful week. Well, at the end of the week, it's Mercury and Uranus that are clashing. And that can make us all a little bit edgy, but also a bit rebellious and in the mood to splash out a little bit. There's been so much financial constraints and cost increases. If you can give yourself a little bit of a treat towards the end of this week, it wouldn't be a surprise if you decided to do so. But of course on Sunday, Venus also goes into retrograde. It's going to last for 44 days, right through to September the 4th. Venus is going to ask some serious questions during this period about what you want from your romantic but also social situations. But don't underestimate that Venus can be about money, but it can also be about creativity and how we present ourselves. And Leo is a very proud host. So whatever you're dealing with that may need rethinking, whether it's your finances, your social interaction, your friendship group, or your love life, all of those themes are going to be bound together by a need to protect how you feel in terms of how other people view you. So what a week, eh? But remember, the North Node does link beautifully with Venus, despite the retrograde. So maybe what the retrograde is asking of you is to tease out the sincerity in your relationships. Perhaps that's what the new moon is asking you, to be guided by the emotional dimension of your situation. The North Node can, in time, particularly by 18 months' time, really help you to actualize a lot of individual hopes. I'm not sure if you're going to have the opportunity to see all of those through this week, but with Venus and Mercury in your 5th house, it's very playful, it's very sociable, it's going to help you to amplify all that's best about you. But I think the complexity of Mars opposite Saturn, the Sun opposite Pluto, and the grand cardinal cross, which peaks on Saturday, does mean that this is a week that needs to be negotiated rather than diving into it with an intention to see everything we want, get as we want very quickly. So I think this is a week that you just need to tiptoe through a little bit, but there are things that you can enjoy and there are things you can gain. And also, because that new moon is also linking with Neptune, listening to your sixth sense will be important, whatever decisions you're contemplating, whether it is work, relationships, socially. Listen to your hunches. You're at your best when you do, Aries, and this is certainly a time to think in a bit more of a protective and cautious way when it comes to maintaining your security. I'd just like to share with you my very special opportunity. If you ascend above this zodiac broadcast and order your year 2024 personal forecast now, based on your unique birth data, I'll prepare for you the rest of year 2023 completely free of charge. And in my special package of 30% off, and these charts are very good value, please do check out the cost of them. You will get your character analysis, your life roadmap report, which can help you to understand the patterns that are played out in your situation throughout your time in this life, and get a much sharper appreciation of how you can work with your qualities and also negotiate the challenges that we inevitably all have. Please see underneath this video for more.